Yes, let's go with the hat catch. Fuck yeah. YouTube, what is up? We are back with another day, and we just finished up the state tournament. Ended up taking second place, and there's one thing my dad and grandpa taught me was, if you ain't first, you're last. But it was a pretty sweet run at the state tournament. We had a bunch of dogs balling out all weekend. We went 8-2 on the weekend, 10 games in 2 days. Body's actually feeling pretty good, other than my thumb. I think I might have broke it. Maybe I sprained it. Not really sure. I dove, and the ability to close it is not super great. It is not moving very well. It is pretty fat and pretty ugly. Yesterday was pretty black and blue. I've been ripping the little DAC style, move your joints. I've hit 100 squeezes pretty much every single hour. Started with a water bottle. Yesterday I couldn't even pick up a water bottle. This morning was a little bit better. We had a little bit more movement, but trying to pick up the barbell might be an absolute shit show. So we might be out on Olympic lifting this week. I'm gonna try and snatch today. I know cleans are for sure out today, but ideally we get back to being able to do those. If not, we'll just rip some high pulls. But I think with a no hook grip and strapping it up on the snatches, we might be able to get some work in there. I don't know how heavy we're going to be able to go with that hand, but if it's feeling good, I can swing the bat pretty well, and it wasn't having an issue there. It was literally just a diving catch where I landed like my entire body weight on that thumb and fucked it up, but we made the catch. It was pretty sickening. But if we can't only lift today, this week, we're just going to go back to the yoke and strength shit. And today we got heavy squats anyway, so we're going to rip some jumps. We're going to try some snatches. We're going to hit some squats. We're going to hit some spinal movements. We're going to get in. We're going to get out, and it should be a pretty sickening day. Let's get after it. All right, so we got some unfortunate news here. Snatching and Olympic lifting is an absolute no-go today. I tried to grip that bar, and it was absolutely worthless, even with just the bar. I was thinking maybe I could just do high pulls even with the strap, but dude, anything that is on that thumb at all, absolute pain, just total shit show. We're gonna take today off from the ollies, just go full yoke and strength today. Hopefully tomorrow it's feeling a little bit better, but it's probably honestly gonna be a couple days before this thing is able to grip a barbell and do anything worthwhile, but not the end of the world. We got a bunch of stuff we can do in the meantime to make up for the ollies, and we'll come back stronger than ever next week, hopefully. We're gonna start off with these 180 broad jumps into a return broad jump. We got 3 of these, just our little variation jump of the today. From these, we got seated hurdle jumps as our main vertical stimulus for today, and then we're making up for the ollie lifts. And I shouldn't even say making up, we do these a lot of times with the ollie lifts as well, but we got 5 sets, 3 sets of 5 on the Supercat machine with these repeat jumps at a pretty heavy load. So let's rip, let's go. Ooh. 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 All right, let's go. Let's get some vertical hops here. Main vertical stimulus today. We got seated hurdle hops, ripping for max height. Let's rip. Ooh. Ooh. Let's go. Oh, we got that. Big ass. Yes, let's go with the hat catch. Fuck yeah. All right, then we're just finishing up with our 3rd set of 5 repeat jumps here. A little weighted jump stimulus to replace those ollies today, and we're gonna get after these. Let's go. Ooh, let's go. Really would like a jump mat for those, but my jump mat's fucked up. But being able to put a jump mat and just measure progress, like one of the really cool things that you can do with a Supercat jump or any weighted jumps in general to kind of change up progression is to put the jump mat down, hit it week 1 at a certain weight, and then continually add 2.5 to 5 pounds every week, trying to hit that same height or higher. And once you have a massive drop off from that height, you bump off weight and you kind of start that cycle up and over again. But it's a nice, cool way to like gamify that power part of your workout. It's kind of already done for you when it comes to Olympic lifts because you can drive up the numbers on the ollie lifts or you can hook up an OVR to the ollie lifts. But when it comes to weighted jumps, I think a lot of times there's not a lot of solid metrics that athletes are going for or following, and they kind of just lose intent. And especially if you're doing it for a long period of time, there's really no leaderboard for them to chase or nothing for them to chase, and you kind of start to see them going through the movements. When you introduce them to the Supercat, they're super excited. You introduce them to weighted jumps, they're super excited for like 2 to 3 weeks. But just like everything else, that new stimulus kind of grows stale, and just giving athletes and just people in general a leaderboard and a way to gamify it is super helpful, and I'm the same exact way. So hopefully we can get that jump mat figured out. That thing has been the biggest pain in my ass of any piece of equipment we've ever had. The thing just continually breaks left and right. I probably spent 2 jump mats worth of money on this singular jump mat trying to fix it. Probably should have just bought a new one when the first one broke, but I was kind of pissed the first one broke and didn't want to give them any more money. So got to figure out how to fix that jump mat. But once we do, hook it up to the jump mat and continue to progress those and get them in the Excel sheet and make it a little bit of a leaderboard for myself. especially if we are out for a week or two with this thumb. I don't think it'll be that long. I think we're just being a little soft today on that thumb. And it's significantly better already 2 days later than it was when we heard it. So let's get these squats, let's go. All right, well, the main and only lift we can do today are these squats. So we are gonna rip them. We got 4 sets of 3. We're shooting for 365 to 370 on those 4 sets of 3. See how it's feeling. First time squatting without doing a bunch of ollies before them in a long time. So maybe the legs will be good, maybe the legs will suck. We're gonna find out, let's go. All right, we got our first sets of 3 here, 4 total sets from 365 to like 385. If we're really feeling like we're cooking, we can move it up. I don't know if the legs are gonna be feeling like that today after this weekend softball tournament. Thumb, I'm suicide gripping the thumb on this hand and it feels a little sketchy. And I don't really like the inability to like really pull it down into my back, but it doesn't feel too bad. If it really starts to bug me, we'll switch over to our safety squat, bar squat. I need to get better at those anyways. Those absolutely fucking bother me. But last week I was asked a question of what my biggest coaching pet peeve is. And I didn't really have like an answer right away. I was kind of thinking about it, but I was like, nothing's really pissed me off recently. And then this morning happened and I instantly remembered what one of my biggest coaching pet peeves is. And it's 100% when the kid that doesn't fucking work out very hard, barely shows up, has shit attendance, tells me I need harder music on in the weight room. I need more aggressive weight room music to get after weights. And it's never the kid fucking grinding, going for a super hard 1 rep max that wants to turn up the aux for one music song, for one song to get after his new PR. Like I always will do that for kids. It's always these lazy fucks that don't fucking work out regardless, are always out of shape. They always complain about everything, and then they come up and tell me the reason they can't train hard is because we're not listening to hard enough music in here. It's like, dude, if you can't train fucking hard to Taylor Swift or Katy Perry, you just don't know how to train fucking hard, and it has nothing to do with the music. It's like, man, it's just always these like bullshit excuses for why you can't turn up, and the reason you can't turn up is because you don't actually know how to turn up, and that is a skill set in and of itself. And it made me think about this dude in the sauna today, man. And today was my first day seeing somebody in the sauna with me at my apartment place. And this dude, I walk in, this dude looks me up and down. He's like a 35 to 40-year-old man. Just gives me like the mean, like David Goggins look, like I'm gonna fuck you up in this sauna as soon as I walk in. Looks up and down. He was sitting when I walked in. As soon as I walk in, he starts fucking ripping like 15 push-ups, grunting and screaming the whole time while he's doing these push-ups in the middle of the sauna. It's just us two in this sauna. In our apartment place, so we live together. We're probably gonna have to interact with each other again. As soon as he finishes push-ups, he sits down in the sauna chair. Looks like he's about to fucking pass out. And he just starts screaming to himself with his headphones on, "You got more pussy, let's fucking go, don't fucking give up." It's like, it's always these like fake mental toughness warriors that watch these like motivational videos and get all fucking jacked up to go train, and they blow their load on 1 workout a week. They go hard in the sauna and they convince themselves they train fucking hard and they grind it. It's always the kids that post like the wolves on Instagram talking about working in the dark. And it's such like a mental masturbation. It's like, you're not doing the fucking hard work, bro. The hard work is 7 days a week. The hard work is showing up every fucking day and putting in the work that you can get out of yourself that day. It's not going fucking really hard on a day where you watched the David Goggins video and got all excited. Again, I don't want to ruin the gateway drug for people. If motivation gets people in the gym, that's amazing. That's awesome. I'm never going to fault that. Getting into the gym is one of the hardest things. It's just the fact that these guys always get in the gym and then fucking just tell themselves they're grinding, and they do it once a week and then they never show up again because they blew their load all on that 1 workout. When it really needs to just be like hard work is a long-term thing. Discipline is a long-term thing, and that is what I respect. I do not respect the motivation people. I do not respect all the hype behind all the bullshit. It just seems so fake and inauthentic to me, and it's just lying to yourself, and I hate when people lie to themselves because it takes them out of what they could do and what they could become. But yeah, my biggest pet peeve is by far the kids that tell me they can't train to fucking any music. It's like, you don't know how to train hard regardless. It has nothing to do with the music. I can put on the best playlist in the world and you're still gonna lift 60% of what your body's capable of because you don't know how to grind. You don't know how to be disciplined, and that's a long-term skill set, and most people are not interested in learning that long-term skill set because it sucks and it's not sexy. So that's my little rant for the day. Let's get after this first set. Ooh. Ooh. Oh yeah, a little rusty there. Holy shit. Woo! All right, second set here. Let's make it a little bit cleaner than the first. Let's go. Let's go. Third set here. Bars. I'm feeling like I'm crumpling a little bit, getting a little bit folded on these squats, which isn't the best feeling ever, just based off how the squats have been feeling recently. But the last 2 weeks, squats have been a little sussy in my program. I've been kind of a bum with travel, kind of just emphasizing the Olympic lift. So it's probably a good thing we're getting back to some emphasized squats here and getting the feel back on these. But I was asked the question, how to improve triple extension on Olympic lifts? And there's a ton of things that go to triple extension, especially when it comes to Olympic lifting, right? Like most athletes can get into a triple extension pattern when you have them jump. And typically it's not a massive like mobility issue thing. Like every sport and every movement requires a little bit of triple extension, and they're able to get into it when they're on the athletic field. Then you put a barbell in their hand and it gets a little bit weird. So it's probably mostly a skill issue when it comes to the barbell, and a timing issue more specifically. So while there's like a ton of fixes, one of the simplest that I have found, especially for myself, working myself with these old Olympic lifts, is doing no foot variations. And that might sound weird because when you have no foot, you're obviously not going into the triple extension at that foot, but you can go no foot replace, where you are going into that triple extension, getting high on those toes, you're just not moving the feet, you're not jumping underneath it. And all that allows you to do is to delay the catch and to stay a little bit more connected to the pole, to where a lot of athletes are just jumping underneath, and instead of getting up and through, they do kind of what I do on my cleans, where I know I can squat it up and they just get underneath it real quick. So it's getting a pole to here and then like jumping underneath the pole instead of getting nice and high with that pole, which it forces you to do on those no foot variations. So I definitely try out those no foot variations. I don't love them as much for the cleans, but the snatches, they feel absolute money for, and they make you have a connection to the bar, and the timing just feels a little bit better, especially if you're used to rushing that lift and not getting that triple extension. So there's a lot of things that go into triple extension, but a really simple fix for a lot of athletes and a lot of people getting in the Ola lifts is just doing no foot variations, delaying that catch, extending that pull, and staying connected to that bar longer so you can feel this position nice and tall before you get into that catch position. So something that's helped me a ton. Hopefully it can help you. Let's get this third set here. Oh, that was shit. There we go. Let's go. Fourth and final set here. Staying at this 365 because I feel like an absolute bot today. Let's get after it. Let's go. Ooh, ow. Ankle hurts. Oh, let's go. Cleanest set of all four. Let's get to some spinal moves and get out of here. All right, gonna finish up with these back extensions and some spinal touches at the end. We got 3 sets of 12 here. This is our third set, building up the 2 plates here on these. I've been liking building these up. The back extensions, like the OG back training movement. It's so funny, you have all these coaches talk shit about spinal movements, and then they have back extensions in their program. It's like, you do realize you're moving and segmenting your spine in that movement, and because that movement's accepted, you're okay with programming that one, but everything else is not okay because McGill told you it's not okay. So fucking stupid. We got 3 sets of 12 here. Let's rip. Let's go. All right, then we're just gonna finish up with these spinal touches, with these spinal flows. And by finish up, I mean I've been doing this throughout the whole workout, and I think it's one of the best hacks you can do for any of these spinal flows, just because I do think it takes a little bit of time and a lot of reps, and I think a lot of these reps are really good data points for that spine and the body and how it moves and how it feels. And I really like to shoot for like 50 to 200-ish reps on a lot of these spinal flows, and if you just program that in one big gap, it's like 20 minutes of your workout. It just doesn't seem realistic, especially once you start to fatigue and slow down with all of these things. Obviously, if the spine is your number one limiting factor, that 20 minutes might be worth it, but for most of our athletes, it's just something that needs to be touched on and maintenanced. And it's, I don't want to call it a prehab thing, because that gives me the ick saying prehab, but it's more of a feel-good type movement to keep them functioning in all the high output stuff that we have doing. We really like to balance our workouts out with feel-good stuff and stuff that makes them operating and alive with stuff that pushes their boundaries. And when you find that balance of things, you can push your boundaries for much longer while feeling much better without burning out and having these injuries. But the hack is to just write it as homework during your workout and put 50 to 200 reps of these movements. Today we had 100 reps. Put 100 ground touches throughout the workout, and throughout the workout, whenever they have breaks, they start to rip these reps out, right? So today we did 10 sets of 10. In between every set, squats in every set of our back extensions here, and we got our final set of 10 here. And truthfully, it was just like a filler exercise during that rest period, right? It doesn't take anything away from the actual lifts. It honestly makes you feel a lot better when you get a little bit of expansion into that spine when you're compressing it with all those heavy movements, and it added 0 time to the workout, right? So put it as homework throughout the workout. I like to put it on the side of our workout, so we have our whole workout here. We have this on the side. They just had to get it done throughout the workout. We were ripping 10 sets of 10 today. You could do 5 sets of 20. However you want to break it up to get these reps in, but just making sure you get these reps in. I bet you leave this workout feeling much better. But we just got ground touches, man. You're just touching the ground, bending the spine, trying to think about segmenting it through each individual piece, and we're getting our reps in, right? So we got 10 of these. Let's go. Boom, just like that. And the really nice thing about this stuff is you can start super low level like that, and you're gonna have athletes that's too low of a level of stimulus to get anything out of. And again, if their spine is locked up and you just need to get them moving, that's perfectly fine. But if you actually wanna train that spine, you can elevate their feet. You can add weight to these movements. You can continually progress them or regress them to meet the athletes where they're at and still get a ton of spinal work done. And it doesn't have to be super complicated, man. Flex, extend, bend, rotate. Find a spot in your program for all of these things to be touched on in the week. Do it for a couple weeks, do it for a month, and just let me know how your athletes feel. I bet it's a lot better than how they currently feel without these movements, right? So I appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully we're back to Olympic lifting pretty soon. Otherwise, we're gonna grow some monster fucking quads this month. Let's get after it, let's go. Appreciate you guys watching. Keep chopping wood.